My name is Scott. I was in the Navy on board a ship at Pearl Harbor. I was on as a quartermaster from 74 to 76. When I got out of the Navy, I started farming by myself with my dad and him, and then that didn't quite work out. And then the opportunity came to go to work over in Iraq, so I went over there in 2004. A couple of the camps, there's a lot of car bombs right at the start. And you'd have to gear up, wear your helmet and stuff like everybody else. But after a while, it got a little just commonplace. I really didn't think about it. You could hear rounds come in at night, and you didn't even get up and see what they were unless they were real close. And then I got kind of cold, and people got hurt, you just ignored it. And when I got back home, I had that same feeling for pretty cold when I came back. First time I came home, I'd been over there 6 months and hadn't had a day off. When I came home, I stayed at my daughter's house, and it was the first day of goose season or something. All I heard was gunshots, and that just. And I was out of bed and on my feet in 2 seconds. I noticed every time I got home, it got a little harder to adjust to being there. You really didn't get adjusted until it was time to come back. Couldn't really talk to anybody because they wouldn't understand. They didn't want to hear. And my kids didn't want to hear about it, and all my friends were back over there, so I kind of isolated myself. I came back because I hurt my knee in December or in the fall of 2008. And I came back to get knee surgery, and while I was recovering, they downsized. My job was gone, so they didn't have a place for me anymore. That was kind of hard because one day you're working and doing something really worthwhile, and the next day you're nothing, so it was kind of hard to adjust to. Did a lot of alcohol and things like that. Just kind of vegetated for a while and stayed, kind of isolated and tried to stay out of crowds. Finally decided I better get help, and I went to the VA in Walla Walla, Washington, and finally got help. And I met a good counselor there, and that helped. And I met some really good people here in Boise that are helping. And they just talked to me. Yeah, I mean, they'd listen to your story, and they'd kind of bring things out because I was having a recurring nightmare where I couldn't remember everything. Then every time I talked to them, something else had come up, and so finally it all came out. It helped quite a bit to get the whole story out. And they got me in some programs, and they got me in some more. I mean, in the 3 or 4 years I've been going there, did a lot of counseling and a lot of prolonged exposure therapy and a lot of different stuff. That's where you go back and a traumatic event that's bothering you, just go back and recall it and recall it and recall it and just keep repeating it and reliving it till it seems normal to you, and you can deal with it. Then you bring it down to a common level and you can deal with it. So it seemed to help quite a bit. I used to go twice a week and for a couple of years for individual therapy than group therapy, and it's all helped because you get around other people with the same problems and the same, you just feel safe around them, and you could let your guard down. And you need to talk to somebody, go talk to somebody. There's no stigma attached to it, and it'll help you cope in the long run, and don't avoid it and deal with it. And if you're having a lot of trouble, try to go to a different place or have different thoughts or something to do it. And find a really good support system.